January 27th, 1951, Wichita Falls was cold. The morning barely come. At Bethania Hospital, under chapel light, two babies entered earth in the middle of the night. Leona had been fighting, walking close with grace. She'd smile and say the precious things come at the highest price. Daddy hadn't named us, heaven had to help that day. So the nuns reached for the Bible and they sent us on our way. Timothy for the brother, Mary for the girl, Wayne and Jane to make it rhyme in this hard and holy world. Timothy, Wayne and Mary Jane, two hearts born on the very same day. One little laugh and one little flame, a brother and a sister with a country song name. Picked by nuns and carried home through the winter wind and the great unknown. From the first breath taken to the lives we came to claim, God wrote the story, Timothy, Wayne and Mary Jane. Could have been Sharon, could have been Karen. Mama had it planned, she thought the Lord was sending her two little daughters hand in hand. But heaven had another picture painted in the sky. A solemn little judge of a boy, a wild girl by his side, brought home in a basket through the snow and through the cold. Heads at opposite ends, or at least that's how it's told. Dale and Gary loved us, Judy took it harder then. Mama used to play with me till those twins came rolling in. One was still and steady, one was legs and lightning fast. But side by side is how we came, and side by side we'd last. Timothy, Wayne and Mary Jane, two hearts born on the very same day. One little laugh and one little flame, a brother and a sister with a country song name. Picked by nuns and carried home through the winter wind and the great unknown. From the first breath taken to the lives we came to claim, God wrote the story, Timothy, Wayne and Mary Jane. Kaden Corner, Valley View, the oil field calling strong. Daddy chased that black gold promise and he built a life from dawn. From a lumberyard apartment to a house across the school, 10,000 cash in working hands and every penny true. He'd pull those rods in grease and wind, the old machine complained. Timmy asked him what that liver did, he said leave her alone, and grinned. And somewhere in the middle of the horses, wells and years, two twins grew up on Texas dirt with laughter, love and tears. There were bubble baths and birthday cakes and little kid wars and beautiful mistakes. A cellar door turned into a slide and all of life went rushing by. The names were simple, the roots ran deep, the kind you hold, the kind you keep. And even now you can hear it plain in every old story, in every frame. Timothy, Wayne and Mary Jane, two hearts born on the very same day. One carried peace and one raised Cain, but both were stitched into the family name. Picked by nuns and carried home through a world of oil and faith and stone. From Wichita Falls to the sweet remains of all we remember, Timothy, Wayne and Mary Jane. Yeah, the first gift given was a rhyme and a name. Timothy, Wayne, Mary Jane.
chapel bells, a winter morning sky. Wichita Falls was holding its breath that night. Two heartbeats hanging somewhere in between, a fragile line between the now and what could never be.
Leona lay there fighting somewhere far away. Babe standing helpless, not a word to say.
Doctor speaking whispers, time moving slow.
Life was knocking softly,
Death was close enough to know.
years later I asked her, how'd you make it through?
She just smiled like mamas do.
She said, you pay the biggest price
For the most precious things,
every tear you cry, every prayer you bring.
when you hold on tight through the fear and the night.
That's where the blessing lies.
Yeah, you pay the biggest price for the most precious things.
No silver spoon, no easy road to take.
Just faith and grit and the choices you make.
From a broken down car to a borrowed room, to a life built steady underneath that Texas moon.
Two babies crying in a world brand new. Didn't come with answers, just a point of view. Love ain't easy, but it's always right. It shows up strongest in the hardest fights.
She never called it sacrifice,
Just the way you live your life.
you pay the biggest price
For the most precious things,
every mile you walk, every song you sing.
when you don't let go, even when you don't know what tomorrow brings.
Yeah, you pay the biggest
Price for the most precious thing.
It's the hands that break so our home can stand.
It's the weight of the world in a working man.
It's the quiet strength you don't recognize,
Till you see forever through your children's eyes.
it's a mother's breath on a fragile thread.
It's the words she whispered that outlived the dread.
It's a truth so simple it still survives.
The cost of love is the gift of life. If it scares you, if it costs you, if it asks more than you think you've got, that's how you know. That's how you know it matters.
You pay the biggest price
For the most precious things,
every broken road,
every broken road,
every healing dream.
when you give your all,
Even when you fall,
heaven hears it ring.
yeah, you pay the biggest price
For the most precious things.
So when life gets heavy and the road gets long,
And you wonder if the fight is wrong,
just remember
what she said that night. The most precious things are worth the price.
I was 12 years old in a West Texas wind. Boots too big, but I was trying to fit in. Daddy had that pulling rig, coffin smoking grit. An old iron beast, but he still made a living with it. Grease on my jeans, sun burning red, oil in my fingernails, dust in my head. I watched him work those rods up out of that well, like he knew every secret the ground wouldn't tell. Now a boy that age wants the loudest part, the biggest machine and the steadiest heart. I didn't want a tail rods, didn't want a drag chain. I wanted the livers and the glory and the rain. So I hollered, Daddy, what's that liver do? He didn't miss a beat, didn't even turn to. He grinned that grin all weathered and worn, said, son, there's just one liver on here. And then he let it land, a liver alone, that's what he said. Like a joke tossed out from a hard-hat head, but it stuck like a hymn, like a nail, like a stone. Sometimes the smartest thing is liver alone. Don't yank at the world just to prove you're strong. Don't fix what ain't broken, don't force what belongs. Some things need time, some truths need tone. Sometimes the smartest thing is liver alone. Took me years to hear what it really meant. Back then I just laughed and got covered in bent steel and sweat and black crude rain, thinking old men loved to talk in riddles and pain. Life got bigger than an oil field lease, girls and jobs and pride and peace. Lord knows I pulled on a whole lot of things that would have turned out better if I'd let them swing. Tried to save a fight with a sharper word, tried to steer love where it hadn't turned. Tried to push doors, got it barely cracked. Tried to outrun loss, but it just ran back. And every time I made a mess of control, I'd see that rig and hear that soul, that dry half smile in the valley view sun, saying, boy, not every battle needs to be won. Liver alone, that's what he said, like a wink from the Bible in a pickup bed. And the older I get, the more I'm shown sometimes the holiest thing is liver alone. Don't grab at the wheel on a washed out road. Don't add your weight to an overloaded load. Some hands need holding, some seeds get sown. Sometimes the strongest thing is liver alone. Leave a hurt where grace can reach it. Leave a child some room to learn. Leave the past where fire can't feed it. Leave some bridges unburned. Leave a prayer in the dark unanswered till the morning learns your name. Leave a little silence in the middle of the thunder and the blame. Leave room for mercy. Leave room for breath. Leave room for heaven to do what we can't yet. Babe wasn't preaching, babe was working. Didn't know he was handing me a line. I spend the rest of my life unwrapping. Liver alone, that's what he said, from the mouth of a man who earned his bread with iron and sweat and a backbone of stone. Sometimes the wisest words are plain as bone. Liver alone when your heart runs hot, when your hands want answers that the good Lord's not quite ready to give, though you beg and moan. Sometimes the whole damn miracle is liver alone. So here's to the fathers who teach in jokes, to the oil field prophets in denim coats. And here's to the lesson I still lean on: there's more truth and peace than in pushing on. Liver alone. Liver alone. Red afford everything we own, rattled in the floorboard, headed north with a dream and a prayer, chasing something in the Wichita air. Mama came from plow lines and fields, Daddy had a wrench and a stubborn will. Didn't have much, just a hunch and a chance that the ground might give if they took a stand.
They said there's something buried deep down below. If you're tough enough to bleed for it, it'll show.
Black gold, Texas sky, turned a maybe into a reason why. From a broke down car to a house on a hill with a pump jack rhythm and a working man's will.
Hands in the dirt, faith in the flame, built it all on a family name.
Yeah, life came rushing up from the ground when black gold Texas came around.
Cutting corner, lumberyard nights, apartment upstairs, holding on tight. Cold wind cut through the window pane, but hope burned hotter than the winter rain.
Then the call came down from Electraway. There's oil in the ground if you're willing to stay. So Daddy rolled in with that iron grin, said we ain't leaving till we strike it in.
Steel in his hands, fire in his chest, something chased luck.
He outworked the rest. Black gold Texas sky turned a maybe into a reason why. From a rented room to land paid cash, $10,000 from grit and gas.
Grease on his hands, dust in his veins, sunset poured through the pump jack chains.
Yeah, life came rushing up from the ground when black gold Texas came around. Pulling rods in the dead of night, engines groaning under yellow light. 12 years old on a rig that groaned, learning how a man built something from stone.
Daddy watched that lever do, he laughed like only a father could.
Said, son, there's one thing you need to learn.
Sometimes you leave it alone, let it turn.
It wasn't love,
It wasn't gold,
it was sweat in the dirt.
and a hand to hold.
Black gold Texas sky turned a dream into a legacy life. From nothing at all to a front porch view where the whole damn story finally came true.
Oil field hands and a heart that stayed through every risk and every prayer they prayed.
Yeah, we're standing here because they dug it down when black gold Texas came around. Yeah, you can still hear it pumping now
In every name,
in every town. Black gold.
Texas.
They called him the judge before he ever knew why. Sat real still with those old man eyes.
Didn't say much, didn't need to prove. Just watch the world like it had something to lose.
She was wind in a hallway, feet in the air, laughed too loud, tangles in her hair. If there was trouble, she'd find it quick and drag it home like a favorite trick.
Same day born, same roof raised,
But they moved through life in different ways.
the judge and sissy, side by side.
One walked slow, one ran wild.
One held steady, one broke free.
But they were stitched in the same heartbeat.
From scraped up knees to growing old, through every story the family told,
different as night and morning light.
the judge and Sissy side by side. He'd weigh his words like they mattered most. She'd say hers fast and laugh it off. He saw lines where lines should be. She danced right past what he could see.
Birthday candles shared each year, 2 sets of wishes, 1 set of tears. Every memory doubled in frame, 2 different sparks from the very same flame. He called her Sissy like a song he knew, and she heard home every time he'd use it.
the judge and Sissy side by side.
One built walls, one let them slide.
One saw truth, one felt it deep.
But they were promises they'd always keep.
From bubble baths to back porch nights, through every wrong and every right,
Different roads but always tied.
the judge and Sissy side by side.
Time moves quiet then all at once,
Turns little kids into who we become.
but some things don't bend, don't break, don't fade.
Like the names we're given and the love that stays.
When the world got heavy, when life got real,
He'd stand like stone, she'd help him feel.
2 halves of a truth you can't divide.
Strength ain't whole without the other side.
I don't remember a day
She wasn't there,
you never had to say it.
I knew. The judge and Sissy side by side.
Through every low and every high,
One still waters, one wildfire.
both were born of the same desire. To live, to love, to carry on what Mama and Daddy built so strong.
And if you trace it back through time,
You'll find 2 souls still intertwined.
he still calls her Sissy, and she still turns when he does.